I'm already using common courtesy. I don't want to hurt her. I'm already using common decency. I don't want to put her in a spot where she has to defend herself and put her in a place where it's an argument and it's a fight and it's a this and it's a that. Can't do that thing. I can't do that. Why can't I do that thing? I should, because it's just normal for any parent to do that thing. But you utilize common decency, wisdom, you utilize common courtesy to like bring it to a place where you think about, okay, this is how I'm going to say it. But maybe she can get the drift. And so you get to the point where you speak and speak and speak and speak, and you tell all these things, and really what you're getting out of it is zip, gee, nothing at all. And so when it does hit, when it does come around, and so common sense is now being utilized in those people's minds. They got now starting to use common courtesy, and they're starting to use common decency. Now they think they got wisdom. They think that they got wisdom, and they think that, hey, this is it. No. Because they feel like, hey, they're responsible now. They're doing things that are common. Remember, it's common. Common courtesy, common decency, common self-respect. It's common. It's a common thing. You should have had this down pat a long time ago. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You only just got started. Stay there a little while. In common courtesy, common decency, and common sense, so that you can now mull over it, think about it, and so now when you got common decency, you gauge in your words that you're saying to people, and so now that equates to a little bit of wisdom now. You're starting to utilize a little bit of wisdom. So there's stages in this issue of life where you go through the issue of thinking that your common sense is your wisdom, so you mixed it up. And so the stages of the wisdom, people with wisdom, fighting with those that are supposed to have common sense, having to utilize wisdom over common sense, it's mixed up. So we got to correct all this here, and while we correct all this here, we explain to people like, okay, now look. These are the stages in life. There's common courtesy, common decency, and common sense and self-respect. That's one place where you're supposed to be at generally when you're in school, out of school, and everything. But I don't know how you got to school, and I don't know who really taught you all the stuff about common sense and common decency and common courtesy. Who really taught you about that? Because all you're doing is your whole life, you're bulldozing your way into people's lives, you're bulldozing your way into people's hearts, you're bulldozing your way into people's situations, and you're leaving a mess for everybody else to clean up behind you. So while this common sense this is one area, so you get to that, and when you get to that, you feel like you got wisdom. No, you don't got wisdom. Now you've got to get to a place where you're utilizing wisdom. When you stay in that area of common sense, common decency, and just self-respect, you start now to go to another level. Where now you start to utilize wisdom. You utilize wisdom in life now. Because you mull there, you stay there a little bit longer. If you just go back to bulldozing your way into people's lives and situations and all that, you're at a place where you still nothing, because now you're flopping between common sense and bulldozing your way into people's lives and into people's privacy and on and on and on and on. So while you come out of that bulldozing into common sense, now you stay there a little while, you mull over it, you brood over it, and you stay there a little while, and you move into another area of your life. And that area of your life is called wisdom. Young people, these are the stages that we go through in life. And that wisdom that we start to use, now we're starting to speak to people. And we're starting to speak to people with an advanced wisdom now. It's not that simple wisdom. That simple wisdom, I won't say that because, you know why I won't say that to that person? It'll upset them and offend them. That's just the common part of it. My boss, we ran out of water. When we ran out of water, I saw him driving up. He parked there near the boiler room. And when he parked there in the boiler room, I was going into the boiler room. And when I got into the boiler room, or when I got into the vehicle, I said, "Hi, Stan, how are you doing?" Before I got to him, 25 feet away from him, I said to myself, I'm not going to ask him about the water situation. The whole plant had ran out of water. It was a grave situation. Nobody had dumped water. Nobody had put water, so everything was off. Boilers were off. The toilets were off. Nobody was using washrooms. It was a mess. It was a mess. So while it was a mess, it wasn't my place to go to my boss and say, no. So what happened to the water? The boilers are not running. You know what? Now I utilize a higher sense of wisdom where you shut your mouth. You go to the high stand. How are you doing? I'm all right. Hey, I'm enjoying today because the sun is so nice and it was beautiful out there. He said, yeah, me too. I got to learn about a situation. But I said, you know what? We can work around that situation. Everything is relative. Me, that's how I am. Everything's relative. And you know what? If I can be a part of your solution, let me know. I'll work on anything. But I didn't say, where's the water? I still didn't say, where's the water? And I didn't use the term or the word water because my higher sense of wisdom was telling me, don't go there. Don't go there. The man is already activated. He's already in a situation where he's at the back of the plant and everybody's in the front of the plant and they're all shouting and yielding up all kinds of operations of, oh, should it be like this here? Why should it be like this? And then who comes around the corner is another boss. He comes around the corner and he's parked between, I'm standing between two vehicles, both windows open. And so while both windows are open, this boss pitches up and says, now tell me, who do I have more than this year? Or who do I go and get now? Because there's no water on the plant. You know what Stan said? Stan told him 2 words, big words, strong words, hard words. Those words that you don't use. And so when he got told, Stan looked at me and Stan started laughing after he told this boss those 2 hard words. And so all I said was, have you been told this morning? And so when I looked at him, and we started laughing because I was enjoying the aspects of total wisdom in the situation. Well, he was not. He was there to look for headhunt and to fight with somebody and to blame somebody and to put the responsibility. And so I'm saying to myself, dude, shut up. I'm really saying, shut up. Inside, I'm thinking, hold up. This is my other boss. Oh, I thought to myself, okay, fine, I'm going to get away from this. This boss already got told by the other boss in no uncertain terms too. So, you utilize wisdom. And when you utilize this wisdom, it's a higher grade of wisdom. Now you're in a part of your life where you're starting to think with some difference. I can't just walk up into somebody's house and say, hey, hi, how are you doing? So what happened here? What happened here? I mean, you see everything is scattered. And you see everything. You say, oh, looks like a war. Looks like there's been a fight here. Look like Brandon, did you hit Kristen? What happened? So, you know, you shut up. You stand there and say, hi, how are you doing? And you wish you weren't there. Because why you wish you weren't there? Because even there is Crystal there with red eyes and you say to yourself, oh. And then you walk out and you say, okay, I'll come back later. When is a good time for me to come back so that the tears can get over and the boxing can get finished, whatever. Because there's plenty of rings when you get married. There's the engagement ring, the wedding ring, the suffering, and then the boxing ring. All those rings are there in the house. All those rings are in the house. That's a nice one. So while the rings are in the house, you know, me, I don't like that. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. No, really, I don't want to be here. And so it's my duty. The reason why it's my duty to be there because I walked in the situation. God will never put you in a situation that you're not supposed to be in. So, but you utilize wisdom. So this is how I would do it. Say, okay, bye. Brandon, come say bye-bye to me by the door. And Brandon will come to the door and say, you're the man of the house. Do you need me? Are you okay? I'm here for you. Tell Crystal I'm here for her. I love you guys. Yeah. I'm just a phone call away. In fact, I'll be sitting outside in my car. You can come and get me. I'll be here. I'll stay outside here for about half an hour. Okay, I'm going to say but just rearrange use the time to rearrange the furniture properly. Instead of trying to keep 1, 2, and 3 and boxing your rings. You know. But that's how I would work it out. But God gives you the ability to begin to now go into that higher aspect of wisdom, where you start to now use wisdom in its correct sense. And so, while you start to use wisdom in your correct sense, what you're doing now is you're figuring out now in life that there's cycles. You're going through a cycle in life. And the cycle that you're going through in life is that okay, I went to Crystal's house and Brandon's house, and there was an issue. That's a cycle for me. I had to deal with that situation. Okay? It's a cycle. Because one day, I'm going to go through that again and go to somebody else's house, and it's going to happen. How did I deal with it then? I'm going to now, after I dealt with it, now gauge it and put it in the computer so that when I get to somebody else, because not every situation is the same. You get to somebody else's house, it's another story. And when it's another story, now you've got to start gauging and working out with the wisdom that God gives you, how to work out that cycle in life. So now it's called multi-cycles. That's what life is about. It's about multi-cycles. Because you've got to work, you've got your job, you've got everybody on your job that is against you. So you've got this one that said, this one, that one that said. So you're working on all these cycles. While you're working on all these cycles, and when you're on your way home, you're working on the cycle of driving home, people are cutting you in front of you, and on and on and on and on. So while you're dealing with all those cycles, and you've got notes to pay, you've got a house loan to pay, and you're thinking about all that thing. So it's a conglomerate of cycles that take place. Once you take all those little cycles, remember, those are little cycles. Once you take all those little cycles, you put them aside, and you leave them there, in the rightful place, and you stay in the main cycle. The main cycle is you coming to know God, serving Him, and Him working out, and you working out your soul salvation in fear and in trembling. When you do that, all those little cycles, they work out themselves on their own. A little bit with your help, a lot of it with God's help. A little of it with your help, a lot of it with God's help. But you're in the main cycle of life. That's the important thing. You're in the main cycle in life. You stay on the get-go, from the get-go. You start to enjoy the comfort of true wisdom in God. That's where true wisdom is God. So now I've explained to you. There's the common sense side. There's the wisdom side. There's the higher grade of wisdom. Well, let's go up. Common sense. Wisdom aspects, then there's a higher grade of wisdom, and then you get into that wisdom where you're in the cycle of God, that wisdom. And when you're in that cycle, that particular cycle, then are you in the main frame of life. Are you listening to me? Are you listening to me? That's when you're in the main frame of life, because God is working on everything for you. You don't have to work out all those little cycles. God will work out those cycles. What you were sent in to do was to work out the big cycle. And that big cycle is you, your life, and how you got to relate to God. You can talk to your family about it. You can talk to your wife about it. You can talk to your children about it. And all that thing. Because now you're getting wisdom from God. Now you become the father and the pastor of the home. And when you become the father and the pastor of the home, and when you become the mother and the real love giver in the home, it comes from that cycle of wisdom, staying in that cycle. And what God is doing is creating a force, a unified effort and force in your home and in your life and with your children and with your wife and with your husband, so that you can begin to be a stronghold in the days of trouble. You can be a stronghold. So when you come up to another small cycle, the whole family, now you get to a place where you're dealing with all the cycles. All the cycles as a family and everybody. That's why money for those kids that are coming, when they get to fly over here, I don't care. I don't worry. You know why I'm not worried? Because guess what? I took on a responsibility. How is my responsibility? God gave it to me. I'm going to look after her. And while I look after her and take care of the big cycle in life, the main cycle in life, God's going to give me money to buy the tickets. God's going to give me money to pay the food in the house. God, He's done it all this time. Why should He stop now? Huh? Do you see? God said, okay, you cut off now. You cut off now. You only had $3.75 for this year for that program. And so the budget was for you, for this other program. If you want, you can come into this budget and then use some of this budget. That's not how God works. What budget is big, man. You can use God in those aspects for any time, any term, any amount of money, and all that thing. Because you see what? This is how we got things done. We got things all wrong in life. You see, we feel like God gives to us so we can save for us. No, God doesn't give you like that. God gives you so that you may be available to give it out. You've got to give it to your car note, you've got to give it to this, that, and the other. Because God doesn't come from heaven and goes to the car place and say, okay, right, you know that Dodge Journey for the Pastor Mo there? Okay, here's his payment for the month. God doesn't work like that.